And we are live. And there we go. Welcome,
Indeed.
everybody. I believe it's episode 2 of what is now the shit show. Welcome.
I can't keep up with the numbers. We got the shit show. We got the other one going. It's just whatever. I'm here. What's up?
Welcome, juice heads. Welcome, Jew heads. And let's talk some shit. That's what we're here to do. That's what we do best.
Hopefully, we got some cool guests tonight as well. We got conservative static, hopefully showing his face, and King Kunta of TikTok, who just happened to lose his fucking account.
Man, I mean, I feel like TikTok is pretty lenient, so like you got to fuck up to.
No, dude, it's really just about the fucking message, man. It's really, people who just.
Bad, huh?
It really is, man. And of course, it's about the people who complain about it. So you hurt somebody's feelings, and then they're gonna fucking report your shit.
That's
you know what I mean? And what happens is, I know exactly the chick that I fucking duetted earlier. Her and him had a fucking argument, and she has a big following. So chances all her fucking clowns over there ran over to his account and fucking shut him down. Because that's how it works. If you have numbers, you have the power to shut somebody's account down. Because all you have to do is just, if you have big following, tell your followers to go fucking attack them or whatever, and they'll shut you down quick.
That's all it takes.
That's it. Because people report it and they say they hurt, somebody hurt my feelings or just fucking bullshit. You know what I mean? So that's how it works.
Welcome to.
I don't have those kind of powers yet, and nobody who has those kind of powers ever came after me yet. She might. Who knows? I don't know. I made a video earlier. What was she fucking talking about? Fucking dumbass.
I was gonna say real quick. Welcome to 2021, right?
Yeah. It's just insane. She's this big conservative, not conservative, liberal chick on TikTok with a big following. And her and Kuta have been going at it recently because I know I've seen her, her videos with him and his videos with her and all that shit. So it's like beef,
Mm.
And now they're trying. Did you hear the new news? Now they're trying to cancel Eminem, huh? Now that snake bit that was his snake that bit him.
You know what? You reap what you sow.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? The people he defended are the ones that are now canceling him.
Now, and I heard him say something along the lines of, fuck it, if half the country doesn't want to be my fans anymore, fuck it. Like, but, dude, is Donald Trump really that bad of a guy to begin with?
I know, that's my whole thing. That's my whole thing at this point. Like, what did he do that, what happened while he was in office that didn't happen while everybody else was in office? You know what I'm saying?
Actually, a lot less bad shit happened.
Exactly. But if you sit and think about it, it's just, I just don't understand humans. Like, how you're not seeing what a fucking sham this is.
Oh, completely.
It's a joke. And these people are still commenting. Oh my God. They're like, oh yeah, thank God we got rid of that crazy guy. And Joe Biden is saving the country. Saving it. What the fuck are you smoking?
He's a fucking zombie.
Like, are you fucking ridiculous? You can't even tell me that man has said a speech recently that lasted more than fucking 10 minutes.
My grandfather could do a better speech, and he's been in a casket for 10 years.
It's insanity, bro. It's like sad. It's elder abuse.
What's sad is people really buy into it. I mean, look, you could hate Trump all you want. That's fine. You could be a diehard Democrat. That's fine. But you're telling me this guy Joe Biden is capable of running a fucking.
But this is the crazy part. And you could probably quote me on this, okay? And I'm gonna make one of my predictions. You ready? You ready? What's gonna happen is the Democrats are gonna say he's not fit for office.
Oh.
So they're gonna get rid of him. And then who's next? Watch it happen. And even when that happens, when we say, we told you he was fucking crazy, they're going to come up with more fucking excuses. I'm telling you. It's like we're sitting here telling you that he's lost his mind, right? Now, when the Democrats do it, then they're going to be like, oh, some might wake up, but a lot of them won't. Scary shit, man.
Yeah, no, it is scary. And And truly, the whole world is laughing at us.
Yeah. Oh, that's what he said. Yeah, that's what he said. He said something along the lines of that. He said, "Oh yeah, the world was laughing at us with Trump," and I was like, "You're gonna get a fucking reply soon. You just
Yeah.
wait. Your video's coming, pal."
You know what? Because Trump said it's time to pay the bills. You're fucking delinquent.
Right. Oh my god. Yeah, if you think the world was laughing at us with Trump, now the world has completely lost faith in us now. It's like these people are so dumb. You can't fix stupid. You really can't.
There's no fix for stupid.
I can argue with them until I'm blue in the face. You could show them, like you could put it right here, and they just don't want to read it.
Yeah. So prior to us going on the air, I think we were talking a little bit about Merkel and racism.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Apparently, Prince Harry was never exposed to racism until he lived in the United States. I think he was telling Oprah. Hey, don't quote me on that. I don't know if he said that verbatim, but I'm just paraphrasing.
So you're gonna tell me that
in the UK there's no racism?
Oh, none whatsoever.
There's only ever been slaves and racism in the United States.
So you're gonna tell me like the most famous fucking American to ever go over there and fucking, you're gonna tell me you're getting treated differently when you got fucking security and fucking, all of this shit? What, you think somebody's gonna come at you weird? Come on.
And isn't she only a half?
I don't even fucking know, but I don't care.
It's like,
you know what I mean? Like,
I never knew her as an actress. I never heard of her till she got married to the prince.
Me neither.
But I thought she was just white. Like, I didn't even know. Like, looking at her complexion, I wouldn't even know that there's any non-white in her, to be honest, to be perfectly fucking honest with you.
I don't know. You know what's next? Jay-Z's gonna be like, yo, they're racist. And then fucking, like, oh my god. How the fuck can somebody be racist when they allow you to become as powerful as you are? Like, like this fucking idiot today I stitched. He's like, if you say, what the fuck did this dumbass say? Oh, I gotta fucking look it up. He said, if you don't think you have white privilege, then you're racist, or something along the lines of that. So I stitched it and I said, hey, asshole, only white supremacists think that they are superior. So who's the white supremacist? You know what I mean? We don't think we're better because we're not white supremacists. You're the one saying that all white people have privilege. Then obviously you think the whites are superior. So that makes you a white supremacist if you are white. But, I'm a Jewish Nazi. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Right. The first of your kind. And only.
Right. Yeah. Oh, and I called this, but I didn't say it. Okay, have you heard about this super straight shit that's going around?
No. Wow. It sounds like something I don't want to know about.
Hold on. You don't know about super straight, bro? You gotta get in on it, bro.
Thank God we're friends now. I would have never heard of this.
What it is we're using their dumbass logic against them. So you know how people say that if you don't, date a trans, then you're transphobic?
People really say that?
Yes. Because you don't know about that?
Because what I say is I'm not a homosexual. Right. Are you still allowed to say that, by the way?
I don't know.
I'm a heterosexual, which means if you were born with a penis, I'll be your friend. I'm just not interested in touching your penis or looking at your penis or whatever.
So
we could be friends.
So super straight is now the new, preference. Being that if they could come up with all of these fucking, ridiculous ones.
So that's like a right-wing thing.
Yeah, it's just super straight. Yeah, we're using their logic against them. We're saying that we're part of the super straight community and, that's what we want and we don't want to be,
So like a straight person might have one bad night where they might go bi by accident. But at Super Straight would never do that.
Right, I guess. Listen, I don't know the rules and regulations, okay? I'm not part of this fucking community. But I'm just enjoying the fact that we're using their logic against them and they hate it. They think it's fucking, of course. And so what they did was it's orange and black, I think, are the colors. So it's just like, and then there's, and then somebody did this little flag with, SS for Super Straight. And of course, I fucking knew it. I said, watch, somebody's going to say some shit along the lines of SS, like Nazi SS.
Right.
Sure as shit. 2 fucking days later, I'm scrolling, and here's this fucking dickhead going on. Oh, SS now. Okay, so what? Sesame Street is fucking Nazi too? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I can't. These people are so fucking retarded.
See, what the left does, and they did this with Trump as well, as far as his quote-unquote crimes went, they pick something first. They pick the ending first, and then they find a way to get to the ending that they want.
Right. So they have the box with the puzzle piece, and they're just fucking trying to build whatever they want. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Sure you do, because you think with logic.
I am super stoned, by the way. Took 2 hits right before this, and I am flying high.
Perfect. And I'm having my first drink in a week. I took a week off to just let my body recover.
Nice.
And feels good. Well, plus I earned it. I had a long day today.
Let me text Static and see what's up.
Yeah. So Juice heads out there. Let me know what you're drinking in the comments, huh? I can't be drinking alone here.
Ah, shit. What did I just do? There it is. Whoop. I should have sent you some videos from today.
Well, you could always
Ooh, you know what? You could just scroll through my my page and you'll probably see a couple good ones.
Well, if you want, you could send me the ones you want, and I'll just put them up and we can talk about. Oh, someone's here. Static is here.
Static.
What's up? What you guys up to?
Hey,
what's
Static.
up, bro?
What's up, man? Welcome to the shit show.
Thank you for inviting me to this shit show.
Pleasure to have you, man.
It's our pleasure.
What you guys up to?
Nothing. Just talking about dumb liberals. That's all.
Shooting the shit.
I mean, because what else is there to talk about? There's so much of it, man. I swear I could create an entire freaking comedy special on how stupid these people are.
You literally can.
It's insanity. They're canceling everything. Now they're canceling themselves. They really need to just cancel themselves already and call it a fucking day.
I heard that they were canceling Pepe Le Pew.
Yeah, that's the new one now.
The crazy thing for me is that he's not even on TV. How you canceling something that's not even on TV?
They're trying to erase, dude. They're trying to erase our childhood, is what they're trying to do.
Yeah,
they need a childhood. They need their own childhood. It's time to go outside. It's the problem.
Yep. People need to see each other in the street and talk and breathe the same fucking air. I think the lack of oxygen that these people are getting is really fucking with their brain. Dude, let me tell you, bro. I came back from North Carolina yesterday, and I'm at the gate, and this guy is going on. He must have spent 15 fucking minutes talking about mess. Bro, I was like, dude. Oh, you can only have this one and regulation. No, that he went on and on and on, and I just wanted to fucking be like, dude, shut the fuck up. But then they'd fucking put me on a no-fly list, and then I never fly again, So.
And you don't really want to drive to NC. That's just pretty far.
Dude, I'm done driving, bro. After New York and back, I'm not doing it no more.
Nah, it's crazy. I do it gully. I do it overdosed. So when I wear a mask where you only see my eyes. And I know it kills people because I know a lot of people are like, oh shit, it looks like he's coming to rob the place, So I do it overdose, just, like that last video I posted where I went to the restaurant to get the food. Notice that I walked in with no mask, but I even asked, hey, you guys okay if I go in without a mask? And nobody said anything. Everybody's like, yeah, come in.
Because people are starting to realize that it's stupid.
Static, where are you at?
I'm in the Bronx.
Oh, no, I'm not that. Okay. I'm in
Pelham Parkway in the Bronx.
Nice. I have no idea what that means, but it sounds cool.
That's so I grew up. I was born in the Bronx.
Okay.
My mom worked in New York City, and my father's from Houston, so he used to own a business in Houston. So my parents have always been together, but work kind of had them back and forth where they only see each other a couple of times throughout the year, a couple of months throughout the year. So me and my siblings, there's 7 of us, we were constantly jumping back and forth, traveling with mom, coming back with dad, blah 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 blah. It wasn't hectic, but it was very busy. So I used to do like a school year here, a school year in Houston till I was like, I want to say in 3rd grade. Then it swapped from a school year in New York to a school year in Miami, Florida, till graduation. My last 2 school years I did in Florida plus college. So I've been living in the Bronx and in Miami literally my whole life. So the way we did it was, we'll do school here, for example, and then do vacation in Miami, then start the school year in Miami, then come back here for the summer, start the school year back. And it was constantly like that. So
Jeez,
The system.
that seems like a lot.
yeah, it's pretty good because you grow with a lot of different type of people, and this is the thing that I tell a lot of people. I've never experienced what a lot of people have told me their experience, and I feel like I'm in the middle of the pot. I've been in the middle of the pot, and I've never seen that type of bean jump out of the pot. So when you're telling me oppression and all this other shit, I'm like, man, I must have fucking missed this somewhere along the line because I'm in the middle of Miami where there's nothing but Spanish and blacks and white people, Russians mingling together, fighting each other, loving each other.
I still haven't got my white privilege card. I'm still waiting on that.
And
Man.
it's berserk. It's crazy.
You know,
And then
I'm trying to move out of the hood, man. I'm in the fucking Florida hood over here too, bro. I'm waiting for that card. As soon as I get it, I'm the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? But I'm still waiting.
that's the thing. I lived in Hialeah. I lived in Opelika. Then back to Hialeah in the Bronx. I lived on 136 and Grand Concourse. That's like literally movie scenery ghetto. To 161st by Yankee Stadium. That's also movie ghetto. 178th and Grand Concourse.
I've been there, bro. I grew up in Brooklyn.
Yeah,
I grew up in Brooklyn, so I know about Bronx. That's where you go for them cheap rims, bro.
you do. I grew up in hot zones, and I used to tell everybody, I'm like, it's not really how they paint it. You see, like me, for example, I had to live a double life. So what that means is that at home, I had to behave a certain way. I had to do certain stuff. I couldn't get bad grades because my father would get up in my ass. I mean, literally get up in my ass. My father grew up real bad, right? So my father never really wanted
better for you.
Yeah, he never really wanted us and mixed up in none of that stuff. So I used to kind of hide it from them. So when I used to come outside and, I used to misbehave. I used to get in trouble. But I used to tell people all the fucking time, I'm like, how do we come from these zones? And I have no problem where I'm at now. And I never really had any cops pat me down. Every time I had police contact, it was one-sided. I always felt like it was a 2-minute thing, a 3-minute thing, and continue and go. I never had like a headache. I've never had those type of headaches that they claim. I just never had. And I have friends that sell crack. That's the craziest thing. I have friends that sell crack. I've had friends shoot other friends. It's berserk. And I tell people, look, I come from places you really won't step foot in. And none of my friends have a problem like how you have a problem. This is only really online. You know that, right?
Well, that's the thing. Everybody's got a video camera in their pocket now. And I will tell you, as a white guy, I've been harassed by cops in Harlem because what the fuck am I doing in Harlem, right?
It's just the way it works.
He didn't detain me, but they broke.
It's a quick question.
They ran my information and broke my balls for a good half hour, and then finally let me go home. And
they do that.
I've said it before, and I'll say it 100,000 times. If you come with respect, chances are you'll get it back. If you come up with that fucking why you pull me over bullshit, they're gonna fuck with you. They have.
Sometimes I act like that. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I act like that, and it's because I know the law, so I try to like set them up. And still, I don't find myself in these dilemmas. The most I've ever had was that video that I posted on that debate with that girl that was saying that I was gonna get shot by the cops. In that video, I'm like literally hitting him, and the worst he did to me was give me a ticket for parking in a fire hydrant, which is nothing. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
as long as you don't get violent, you're fine. You could run your mouth. You could talk. I mean, there's nothing wrong with talking. There's nothing wrong with being upset at the moment. But when you start reaching for weapons and you start, oh, it's time to go to jail. Nah, let's throw hands. That's where the problem becomes. Because I've been locked up. I've been gone through bookings. I go through the mornings. Case gets dismissed because it's bullshit. You know, work, gone to school. The system doesn't really want to fuck with me. The system is like, well, you misbehave. You should know fucking better than jaywalking and then running your mouth. Go home. Don't get in trouble for 3 months, and we won't give you a fine. Pay $25 court fee. But if you don't try to fight them or anything like that, it's fucking simple. I tell people all the time, think of it two ways. One, you're dealing with a human being. They're going to catch an attitude somewhere when you're giving them an attitude. And two, be lucky that motherfuckers like me aren't cops, because I would be smacking the shit out of everybody who fucking disrespected me the first fucking moment. So give them a round of applause that you lasted 30 minutes before you fucking got tased. With me, I would have been put cuffs on you, thrown you in the back of that chair, kicked you in your fucking ass, and been like, well, Captain, I don't know. He spat on me while he was talking. And then this is where we find the fucking problem. They want to pick, oh, he wrote the report. Nah, man, you look for the situation. Stop trying to be violent.
Right.
You know,
maybe you should stop doing things where you end up interacting with cops, and then you won't have problems with cops, because cops they're painting this picture like a certain,
like they go out hunting for us.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Perfect way to put it.
Well, like it's a game. Like, yo, let's see what kind of trouble we can get into tonight. I'm bored. Like, no, cops they don't want to fucking have to.
No,
go
that's true.
That's
This is a true war story. So this happened on Leidig. Leidig is a little hot zone. It's in Pelham Parkway. So it's about 2-3 o'clock in the morning. Me and a couple of friends of mine were standing in front of my friend's building. Now I'm not gonna sit here and talk to you and tell you I was well dressed that day like I usually am now. I was jeaned up. We look like a problem, right? So seriously, looking like a problem. When the cops jumped out, the first thing they said is, we're not here for drugs. We're here for weapons. We had a call. We don't care about the drugs. We don't care about anything. We're only looking for guns. And he said, anybody got guns? I said, no, but I don't suggest you touch me. He gently walked through everybody. He literally skipped me. And he asked me again. He said, you have anything? You mind if I search you? I said, you know what? I do mind if you search me. I don't have anything, but to cause no issues, you could go ahead and lightly pat me through. And he said, nah, fuck that shit. And they hopped in their car and they fucking left. The last thing the other cop said was he had a Second Amendment shirt, and we let him have it for that shit, right? Because we're like, how the fuck you have a Second Amendment shirt, but you're out here looking for fucking guns? And he's like, well, you know, I got my job to do. And we were like, don't give us that shit, you know. But it was like joking around. We at no moment we will get irate. We're grown men, so we know that it's better just to fucking throw yourself on the floor, get some cuffs, go in. What people don't understand is that the system really doesn't bother. It's really looking for certain type of people. You know what I'm saying? You could get caught with marijuana. You're gonna go in probation, and I don't mean like probation like a year probation, like behave, don't get caught with it again type of probation. But people don't think about that. People think that they're going to go ahead and throw the book at you. And this is where this behavior comes from. 2 days ago, I was having that conversation with a guy at a taxi cab at my job. Oh, we owned them. We got to do this. They got to do that. I'm like, look, bro, let's cut that bird quick and let's let that kite go out. You're not boss to anybody. You're not. It's not like you're his master and you can ask him for a cup of water and he's got to bring you a cup of water. That's not how that shit fucking works. I could tell you right off the moment that the moment you get pulled over, you're already trying to tell this guy he has to do what you tell him to do. Me as a human being, you're not going to tell me no shit like that. Nonetheless, in the middle of me trying to do an investigation or do anything like that, you're already getting in my way. You're already getting irate. This is a problem. And this is where the mechanism begins. They work for us. And I tell him, bro, you're not a lawyer. Talk to a lawyer. A lawyer will tell you better. That's not the behavior. Oh, blah, 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 blah. But it's all this machismo and all this. It's all this bird pumping chest shit. That's really what it is. And it's only on the internet. It really is. On the streets, you really don't see that shit from grown people. here in the Bronx, all my white friends say nigga all day long, nigga this, nigga that. Meanwhile, online, oh, you can't say nigga. And I keep tagging them, yo, come to my neighborhood, tell these white kids not to say nigga. It's crazy.
Yo,
I even tried to. I even tried
so
to.
fucking true. Because growing up in Brooklyn, bro, it's
You have to use the word. You can't say no. And people be asking you, who you talking about? Oh, the white nigga over there, or the black nigga, or the Chinese nigga, or the Spanish nigga. That's really how the fuck it is.
Sometimes I say ninja. Is that okay?
I don't see the problem with the word. I've been trying to get into that debate, but they keep ignoring me. I think it's very simple. If the words mean the same, ER or then GGA, then we shouldn't use it at all.
I don't. You might have heard me wrong. I said ninja.
No, that's what I'm saying. I personally don't have a problem with anybody saying the word at all. I grew up with everybody saying the word.
Use it. It's all about the context in which you're using the word.
No, not at all. Not for me either. To me, it's a totally different word. That's what I'm saying. So GGER is one word. GGA, that's a totally different word. I've been trying to get into this debate with them, but they don't want to. If it's the same word, then nobody says it because the word, it's the wrong word. But if it's not the same word, GGER, then GGA, then there's no problem with anybody saying GGA.
Yeah, if you look at any dictionary, there's going to be both of them in there.
Correct. So they're not the same word. So anybody could say the word. If they have, this is only online. This is how they get clicks. This is how they get views. There's no really there's no method to their madness. It's just, the fucking Pepe Le Pew shit just says it all. It's fucking nuts.
Trying to cancel Looney Tunes altogether now, not just even Pepe Le Pew.
This is nuts. You know what's the crazy shit? Does this generation even see cartoons? Because all they see is anime, and that shit is raunchy as shit.
They're canceling shit they've never watched, bro. It's fucking ridiculous.
I set the line. The moment they fuck with Thundercats because they act feminine and or He-Man because he's too masculine, that's it. It's over for me, bro. That's the day I hit the table, bro. It's over. It's crazy. How do you sit here canceling shit that really has no attention towards you?
It's insane.
Sooner or later, you're gonna start fucking. What's berserk is this dude is not even on TV, my man. Like I haven't seen an episode in I want to say maybe 20-something years.
You gotta go.
You gotta search for that shit. That's not something that comes across the TV just on a regular.
It doesn't. That's just been off the
and all these kids
silver screen for a long time.
And all
that shit was on.
These kids are watching garbage nowadays, bro. They're fucking not watching anything worth a damn.
That Pepe Le Pew so old he doesn't even take up the whole screen on these modern widescreen. He's still in the middle. He's so fucking ancient. I'm surprised the voiceover is still fucking well. This is crazy. My friend was telling me about the whole Mr. Potato shit, and we spoke about it for an hour.
Yo, let me ask you something. Have you heard about the Super Straight? I was trying to tell my boy up there about
that. Yo, I fucking love that shit. I can't. I love it. I really can't jump on it because it's not what I do. But if they ever try to fuck with me, I'll be like, I'll fucking use it.
Yo, I said the same shit. And of course, I said that the fucking SS, somebody went after it and it was like, oh, the fucking, what the hell's his name? The guy with the red beard. That guy's just
Lokius. They all got me blocked.
Yeah, well.
What a bunch
they all
of
have
cowards.
me blocked.
What a bunch of cowards.
They all have me blocked. I've literally ran out of material.
Conversation.
Now they don't want no conversation.
No, that's just like the guy today. I said to him, I said, come on the podcast and have a debate about economics or whatever. And he was like, I don't want to come on your I've seen your content, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you just have no balls.
You know what it is? That on his first debate with me, this is the problem with them. And this is really something that I do, and they haven't picked up, which I don't understand why they haven't picked up. I like to use their own articles against them. So that it makes it seem easy for them, right? Because they're like, oh, he's using my articles. But they're not my fucking articles. They're your articles. The times that, like, I have to get deep to destroy an article, I don't have a problem. That's why I wanted to get into that economical debate with him, because he's trying to use the same strategy he did with that whole thing that Obama didn't cage the children, where I had to use the last video where I used him saying it, and then I told him the problem is these articles trying to talk back then.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that I summarized it then with old articles, because that's what those articles really do. They tell them how to think. So he's trying to throw me these articles of like black unemployment as if it's has to do anything with the economy. So, which right off the bat, it lets me know he doesn't know how to debate the economy. The way you really want to debate the economy is that you want to hit the sectors. So you either want to hit the merchandising sector, you want to hit the mechanical and parts sector, you want to hit the what other fucking sectors are there? There's about 5 or 6 sectors. You want to discuss the sectors,
What
and you want to
travel? One of them.
one of them is airports and parts, airplanes and parts. One is military. The other one is service and goods. The other one is communications. I don't remember the other, but this is why I tell them that I try to show, like, I try to dumb myself down. I try to speak basic English so everybody understands, but they're not understanding. It's just the way the show fucking goes. So they're underestimating me. So the way you really debate these articles, because these articles don't say nothing. It's just telling them what to say. And they're just pointing at articles like if the article is correct, which puts me in a predicament where I have to debate the article to then destroy them. So what I wanted to do with him, for example, was talk about all the sectors and show how the sectors have been moving up and down with presidency. So you could show them where the dip, where Obama's dip, because Obama, a lot of people want to give him credit for the economy catching up to where it previously was. Then he'll go up a point or two, and then he'll drop for like 10 points. And that's how all his sectors were. So at every sector, when he caught up, he went up a bit, but then midterm to his last presidency, he'll just start hitting down, which was his recession. And everybody keeps forgetting that. So that's why they talk about these numbers, because they try to simulate a different type of thought instead of giving you the visual of what was happening at the moment. And you'll see that the dips, for example, I could upload images onto this. That would be pretty cool if I could, because I have a couple of images.
You could, send them to me, and or send them to Jew, and Jew can send them to me. However.
Okay, so yeah, so you'll see like the dips right after when he hits the recession, where he drops, and then where President Trump comes in, and then we start the incline to catch up and the incline to pass, all within 2 years. And this is where everybody tries to confuse people. They try to say, well, he had higher numbers. Well, obviously he had higher numbers because he had to catch up and then exceed by a point or two. So it makes it seem like his numbers made him seem like he's doing something when he's really not. He's just really catching up and dropping back down.
Right.
While we constantly just went up.
I'm no economic expert by any stretch of the imagination, but he said, Obama said he was talking about shovel-ready jobs. Wasn't he just taking taxpayer money and creating artificial jobs with it?
That's what they say. That's why I don't really like to hear those discussion of the unemployment rate, because a lot of the stuff is temporary work, right. And that's exactly where that discussion comes. That's really a lot of the stuff. Remember, he did a lot of bailouts and a lot of stuff that temporarily brought jobs. Pardon me. So that's where a lot of that factor comes in, and that's where I tell them that's where the numbers play that ghost riddle, because it's just showing numbers and it's not showing you how the market really was, if it was volatile at the moment, what caused it to drop, who really maintained it, because a lot of people will see it and they will totally forget about the whole 9/11. They will forget about the Boeing issue and all this, which represents drops. And this is why I kept telling him, yo, make your argument on the economy. Trust me, I'm going to destroy it. I've been debating this shit for like fucking literally 2 years already, Now, but fuck it, I'm just gonna go ahead and make those videos, upload them, and whoever fucking wants to go ahead and stitch them. I mean,
you're never gonna find a bigger Trump fan than me or Jew, or probably you seem like a pretty big Trump fan yourself. I heard from economists that are politically neutral that we've been in a bubble now for years, and COVID is popping this bubble. Is there any truth to that?
I'm not sure, because I haven't looked into that in reality. I have not.
That's an interesting topic to me.
I should look into that. I wouldn't doubt it. I think that the COVID numbers are going to rise, not the COVID numbers themselves, but when we open, the economical numbers are going to rise real strong. Right. And I think it's just going to be like a hiccup till things come back down and stable again. Because a lot of things that people don't understand is that these stats, they pick up the algorithm or the trend immediately. So, for example, they'll let's say they'll do it in a 4-year span, but you'll see that on a 4-year span. If it happened to say, for example, on his first presidency, they exaggerate it. They make it go really, really, really high. So you think the numbers are high. The second year, you'll see the numbers go down. But what it's happening is that it's being stretched out within the 4-year mark. Like they try to give you an average of it instead of just giving you the straight cut. So that's where a lot of them get confused. They see the spikes immediately, not understanding that it's the first year call before they give you the four-year average. And that's why you got to discuss economics really at the end of a presidency or at the end of a term.
Hey, Static, if you can have access, there's a private chat. I put my phone number in there, so feel free to text me any graphics or images you want, and I can put them on the screen.
Okay, perfect.
I'm pretty sure you have access.
I think that's what's going to happen. I think everything's going to open, right? And then everybody's going to get back to work. And then all these fucking libs are going to say, oh, look what Joe Biden did.
Look at these beautiful numbers. Yeah.
Look.
And it's not. The numbers are going to stable out because it's got to hit the 4-year mark. Once you see the 4 years, you'll see that they'll average it out.
Yeah. They're just waiting for that. Either that or they'll just, say he's unfit. And then Kamala will take over. The dementia will finally kick in, once he can't speak at all.
I think he's done. The other day he made a speech and
bro, he can't
stumbled
speak more
off.
than
It was
5
crazy.
minutes. He can't speak more. He's a walking meme. I swear, I watch a speech and I have an hour fucking set where I can make fun of him.
It's at the point where I honestly feel bad for the guy.
Yeah, it's elder abuse.
I do too. I think it's pathetic.
People that really think he's the president.
Put that man out of his fucking misery. It's like old Yeller. Just end it.
I'd really rather see president heels up at this point.
It's insanity.
At least she's coherent.
Yeah, she can laugh and cackle like the fucking cunt that she is.
I mean, she only polled at 0 in the Democratic primaries, but what the hell?
There.
So I had that sweater made. Hold on. Let's see if I can show you.
So I sent you those 2 pictures. The first one is of the, I think it's Good Service, which is like that's cool.
Yo, put this on the big screen real quick, Giorgio.
I like that.
All right, hold on. Oh, wait, hold on. I hit the wrong button.
King Kunta just said, send me another link. I'm getting a 404.
Everybody get your Fat Jew merch.
Yeah, okay. Nobody wants a shit. Oh, it froze up now. The fuck?
No, you're good. We see you good.
I can't see myself though.
So yeah, I sent you those 2 messages. One is the service was it Capital Goods, which is like groceries, merchandise, clothing. So that's that sector. And that's really how you have to discuss the economy. If you notice, the second picture is the graph. At the bottom, I have all the presidents. Then I have the yellow outline, which represents the trend. If you notice, halfway to Obama's presidency, after he caught up in his first term to Bush, you'll see he'll have a nice spike, but then he'll drop right back down during his midterm. That's how his economy was reading through all the markets. And then when Trump came back in, then the market started picking back up. So when they sit there and they say that he set up the market for him, that's the perfect proof to show that he did not leave the market set up for him. The market was on a spiral downward.
All right, I'm getting these in right now. Just bear with me for 1 second. Oh shit, where's the Jew?
The fuck,
we got-
man? I'm like, let me in, bro. Knock, knock, motherfucker.
We got
What
another.
up, King?
King
What's good?
Kunta, what's
What's
up, my
good? What's
man?
gravy?
Hey man, it's good to be here.
Hey, welcome to the shit show, man.
Oh man, we're living in it.
Indeed.
Yeah.
We're doing it super straight, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus,
All right,
man.
so I just have a couple of images that our boy here is going to explain. I'm going to share my screen real quick.
Do it. So you working tonight, Kunta?
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. What is that work business?
Figured I'd
I
leave
thought
the
you
crib
didn't. I
early
thought
to
you
get
didn't
some
know how to
time
use the internet, bro. What the fuck? How did you
Man,
manage to get a job, bro?
I caught a break. I caught a break. It was like super easy. All I had to do was just make a few clicks.
There you
Gotcha. You figured it out, huh?
I know how to use the mouse. It's just the keyboard that's confusing.
go.
Oh, fuck.
All right. It's becoming a big pain in the ass to share pictures, but I will get this. It's going to take a few minutes. So talk about something else in the meantime, and I'll get
At least
There's
we're
so much
surviving
to talk
cancel
about.
culture.
At least we're surviving it. Yes, that's true.
Somehow we're not surviving it with each other. It's crazy. I want to know who are these people who've been flagging this.
That's an
It's just-
interesting topic because I was watching Conservative Texans podcast that he did last night, and they were talking about that, and it was very interesting because these specific people that are so-called conservatives are creating groups of people that make fake accounts to either love slap people or mass report their videos and shit. And to me, it's, if you're gonna hate, do it from your own fucking account. If you're gonna love,
I
do it from your
fucking
own
agree.
fucking
Like,
account.
show your face. I tell that to people all the time. I take value in showing my fucking face.
Right.
But you know what it is? Is people just don't know how to ignore. There's
Oh,
a lot
yeah,
of
of course.
simping.
There's so many videos that I've made that I said, listen, if you don't like the shit that I say, scroll up or block me. That's an option. You don't have to sit here and scroll down the For You page, see my video, and just post a fucking hate comment simply because you saw my face.
Yeah,
and then
that's
and
true.
Then they dissect your shit and fucking.
Make a bunch of invalid points that had nothing to do with the fucking video.
Right. I can't tell you how many videos I've made of the same exact point. Like, I'll get the same comments, and I'm like, just read above. Like, just look at the fucking answer I gave the first schmuck that fucking said this nonsense.
They're
Exactly.
argumentative, aren't they? They're very argumentative.
Oh, they just want to fucking argue. No matter what, they just want the last word. It's like your last word is
Holy
stupid.
shit.
Shut up.
My man, that's the fucking truth. Like they could tell you, yo, 2 + 2 is 7, and you'd be like, no, 2 + 2 is 4. Grab
You
2
can
eggs and another 2 eggs and
you
count
can
them together,
literally-
and it is 4.
You can literally fucking do the entire fucking like
And they
math
fucking
problem with them, and they still wouldn't fucking get it.
they deny it, and then at the end of the day, you'd be like, well, that's the answer. They'll come back and be like, well, you're wrong. Well, no, I'm not. Well, yes, you are. It's a fucking childish shit, my man.
You're racist for calling me wrong. Like, it's
I'm
just so
fucking the other
stupid.
day, I had somebody text that shit to me. Oh, you're racist against your own. I'm like, I hang with nothing but black and Spanish people. Why don't you fucking come over here? There's like maybe 10 white people in my squad. Come and tell these 100 fucking people here that I'm fucking racist. That's fucking nuts.
I love getting those comments when I speak out against the black community and all the shit that we're ignoring in favor of race and all this
Kunta-
other dumbass shit.
Kunta, for all jokes aside, King is like 99% of the black niggas in the hood. Why do I say that? Because they all agree on the same issue. The problem is, like I keep saying it's just these bozo online. They like literally, this is what they do. You don't hear nobody in the hood talk none of that shit they talk. I
Right.
swear to fucking God. I
My
swear to
shit's
fucking
I know
God.
there be
I'll
niggas
be right
in the
back.
hood talking like, yo, bro, we really need to stop doing this shit. Like, we really need
For
to
real.
like clean up this motherfucker and stop like. And I don't understand like why can't like I don't like I understand like people are afraid of gangs and shit like that, but when the entire community outnumbers one fucking gang in the area, it's time to take some action. Especially when you see your community going down fucking hill, but yet you want to turn around and blame everything else on everybody else.
Yeah, the kids are really on some other shit though.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
I know.
kids
I
are-
know. I know.
Oh,
It's
they're the
that.
worst because
I-
they're so uneducated.
I
They
have
don't
Yeah,
niggas.
fucking.
they're
I
on
have
some other
niggas that
shit.
I know that I have like pressured to like get them to stop doing this shit. One of my niggas actually said to me, the one night we were all in a group chat talking about like some music video shit. And he was like,
There we go.
he just flat out sent a whole like he just sent a voice note and said, "Bro, I'm done gangbanging." And it was literally out of fucking nowhere. We were all like, "Yo, why would you say that? Like, what would make you like that's good, but what would make you say something like that?"
Got
He's just like,
tired
"Bro,
of that shit.
that's exactly what he said. He's like, "Bro, I'm sick of this shit. I'm tired of just fighting niggas over dumb shit. I'm tired of robbing niggas. I'm tired of just doing all this stupid shit just because I want niggas to see me." Like, that's exactly what it is.
That's true.
Right.
All right,
It's like clout of the street.
images.
All right, so let me show you. This is the goods, right? So this is groceries, clothing, sportswear, sporting equipment, all the type of shit you buy, let's say at Walmart and Kmart, anything you'll find within the aisles, right? So if you see at the bottom, I have all the presidents. So I have Clinton, I have Bush, I have Obama. All of them were both of their terms, and Trump at the end because he only served one term. Keep in mind that at the end of 2020, we had COVID. So if we start at the beginning and we look at the Clinton era, goods start rising, but they really don't rise that well. They're just at a stream. Then we had the September 11 attacks, right? And that made us dip. If you notice, that happened right at the front of Bush's first term. Right when you see his second term, you see things rise, right? Till Obama came into office. And then that's when we had another recession and it crashed. If you notice Obama's whole first term, he's playing catch up to where the numbers were prior. Okay. On his second term, you see he rises a little bit. He has a spike, and then he starts to drop. This happened within a year, and I think it was a year and 9 months into his term. He starts dropping into another recession. Then we go ahead and we vote, and then boom, we come back up. Right when we're catching up to start exceeding, we get hit with COVID. Every sector shows the same thing. This is the sector that shows the least movement. Every other sector, for example, military or transportation, vehicles and planes.
5 sectors real quick?
Huh?
Do you want me to look up the 5 sectors real quick for you?
No, I have I already have the graphs looked up, but all the sectors talk the same, They all say the same story.
At the end of the day, numbers don't lie.
Numbers don't lie. So that's what they try to do. They try to use those numbers to lie and make it seem, well, he had bigger spread. And just exactly how I showed you that he had to catch up during his first term to Bush. That's how they manipulate their numbers. They add that long catch up as if he did something, and that doesn't count that way.
Yeah, that's like this fucking gap tooth fucking cunt that I had an argument with said if Biden's fucking approval rating is 70-something%. I'm like, what the fuck? What kind of graphs you looking at?
Yeah,
find that shit.
That's impossible. I mean, I would have to like really sit down and look at that shit, but that's literally impossible. 70%.
Considering the fact that there were actual Democrats that voted for Donald Trump this year because they just didn't believe in Biden, I highly doubt that shit.
70%. That's a fucking lot.
That's a whole fucking lot. I'd be happy with 40. That I'd be like, all right, that's decent.
70%, and that 100% of the voters never show out.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I said to her, I didn't get a fucking call. Nobody asked me nothing.
I think they flipped my vote.
So I never heard of an overvote before this most recent election, but I heard an overvote. Actually, you would think an overvote would be over 100% of the possible voters in the precinct. But no, an overvote is like when you get 92%, because usually only like 80% or less, or like 70%.
If that, yeah, you usually get like 40-50% of the people turning out.
So like, how do you look at all these statistical anomalies?
That's that vote in mailing.
Like come to the conclusion that you come to.
Listen, when you can print votes, it becomes easy.
And
You know what I mean? It's
by the way,
simple. It's
Facts.
simple.
remember,
When you can fucking make this shit on a computer and have printers just print it out, you can fucking do what you want.
Right.
I don't mean to talk over you. Just remember to make sure you say that was the 2016.
That's right. That's right. This was like the 16
You can't
elections
say-
back. I'm not talking about this one.
Otherwise,
That's
you're going to get taken down. So make sure you say it was the 2016 election.
I don't know. I say fuck them. They already know who the fuck I am. It's fucking nuts. I can't hide from them. I go to their office. I look for them. I go to Ruben Diaz's office. Hey, you. I'll hear everybody participates very roughly with them. So that's just the way it is. They don't like what it is. They go straight to the mayor's office. They write him a letter. They show up.
Comrade de Blasio.
Yeah. So they have like their own little offices with their own little representatives. So everybody.
The worst mayor in the whole. He destroyed that city. I used to work in Midtown for 5 years, and I came in to Midtown on the tail end of Bloomberg, who I didn't even like Bloomberg. He was like a
But he cleaned up. Is the thing.
Yeah.
That's what people
Yeah.
don't want to admit. He cleaned up.
At least Bloomberg maintained what Giuliani did.
They cleaned up. They did.
I-
The way the city was, I'm gonna be honest. Sorry to interrupt. The way the city was, we really can't talk about what they did bad. We're talking about a city that was infested. A city that was infested with people doing Tai Chi on the sidewalk because they were so high on crack. They were just fucking stumbling, crack in the corners, crack vials on the streets, on the sidewalk. That's what they cleaned up. So you had
Essentially
to
what
be,
California is now.
you had to be hard.
What's insane is how accurate you are, because I was born and raised in New Jersey, and literally I saw that shit all the time.
So we're in Jersey.
Newark.
No, okay, my family's from Newark. I'm in Parsippany.
Newark. A lot of people be sleeping on Newark and Camden, and I tell people, yo, I have friends
Newark
that live
is
in
bad.
Newark and Camden, and those are the only areas where I go that my knife stays in the front of me.
My grandfather was a fire captain in Newark back during the MLK riots,
Them zones are no joke, you know.
and I
Hello.
actually went to college in Newark.
It's fucking, you know, and the way they
It's only
cleaned
10
up.
minutes away from where I live now. It's 10 miles east of me. That's it.
They cleaned up the city very well. You could travel any time of the night.
But there's
You-
still, I mean,
it's-
they cleaned up the downtown, but there's still, I mean, Kunta will tell you, there's still very bad parts you want to stay away from.
Of course.
But here they're literally rebuilding the South Bronx. They're literally taking out these
That's
old
good.
buildings,
That's
putting up new
amazing.
buildings. Yeah, it's starting to look like South Beach now, like
That's
colorful buildings, and you're like, wow, this is the Bronx. I mean, it still looks a little weird to see that pretty building next to like two filthy ass project buildings, but you can see the future because they're literally just fucking rebuilding the whole Bronx.
Mhm.
That's gonna stop though, you know, because we don't have no more infrastructure. But
Yeah.
I'll tell you when
So them tractors and shit are gonna sit there for a few good months.
Yeah.
yeah,
They'll collect some rust.
I was mid 80s, and when I was a kid, Hoboken was a dump. And look at Hoboken now. It's like
I go party at Hoboken.
cities to live in, you know?
I wish I could rent in Hoboken.
It's insane. It's insane what it costs to live there.
I wish I could, and they got some pretty women in there too. That's fucking nuts.
That's what kicked me out of New York. The fucking price of everything. I was sick and
That's
tired of
fucking
paying
nuts.
so goddamn much. bro.
So, like all jokes aside, I live here. I rent the basement. I live upstairs on the second floor, so I rent the basement. I got a gym on the basement, and on the roof,
Right.
I have a patio, right?
Right.
And
That's
My
not a
rent
bad
is-
setup.
my rent is literally almost $4,000 a month.
Jesus Christ.
It's fucking nuts. I know, bro. My parents come from Florida, and my mom be like, "You're still renting out here?" I'll be like, "Yeah, you rent out here too." She's like, "Yeah, but I pay $700 a month. You're the idiot paying all this money."
You could own two houses.
He's like, yeah, I could, but I won't.
So yeah,
Bro,
this is like a nice area of the Bronx. Like everybody tries to work to live here. Now, you would be amazed, right? Because you'd be like, "Damn, that's the high end of the Bronx. There's nothing but white people." But there's not. There's nothing but black and Hispanics only.
That's what I think people get like a lot. Like they
They-
get
they
confused
totally
as
think
fuck
that-
time.
Yes, this is all minorities or so-called minorities.
all the yuppies are in Williamsburg now.
We have white people here. I'm not gonna sit here and lie, but there's only 1, 2. How many white people you think we have on our block? Like 3, right? Everybody else is black and Hispanic, right? Yeah, like 3 white people, 3 white families.
Nice.
You know, and that's really how it is. And then they'll tell you, oh, but you know, stay in your white neighborhood. I'm like, okay.
Hold on, let me go.
You live in the
outside
nice
real quick.
part. I do.
Yeah, that's just like me too. I'm probably 1 out of 5 white people in my neighborhood.
One of my good friends, he's Jewish. His name is Mark Weisman.
That's
He's,
very Jewish.
German too. They like speak German heavy. So he walks around always with like this red bandana or a yellow bandana. And everybody from the streets is always asking this nigga. They be like, yo, you're from the hood, right? And he's like, why you ask? He's like, because only white guys with bandanas walk around from the hood like that. And they be like, where is he? I'd be like, yo, he's Jewish. They'd be like, nah. I'd be like, you see, you can't be fucking judging a book by its cover, nigga.
Oh,
That's like me. My last name, Lieberman.
That's Jewish, yo.
That's
Hey,
extra.
there's-
That's extra Jewish.
Wasn't there a Republican senator, Joe Lieberman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, you want to hear a funny
I
story?
fucking forgot
Funny
about that
story
shit.
about that. Funny story about that. My cousin, his name is Joe Lieberman, same name, and his wife has the same name as the senator. So the President Bush, sent him a couple letters, thinking it was
Macario's
him.
up there. Keep my flag.
He wrote a book
Nice.
about it and everything.
When's the next time you're going to see a Republican senator from fucking New York?
Never. They gotta say they're
What
dem.
happens is the boroughs ruin it for the whole state.
they'll have
Is
to
that
trick
you have-
people into saying that they're Democrat for them. To
Yeah,
keep
you
voting
gotta
in.
say you're Democrat because it's a closed system up here. You could only be a Democrat. This is why when they're always telling me, "Oh, Trump was a Democrat," and I'm like, "It's a closed fucking voting system. Stop using that argument. It's stupid. We all have to be registered Democrats till voting day. Then you switch your party." Like when I showed Brock, I was like, "Look, Republican. I gotta switch my shit back to Democrat because if not, I can't vote out here. I can't vote primaries. I can't vote for my
I
local
remember
nothing."
seeing that whole fucking thing that you went that you and Brock went on. I'm
I
like,
try to take it easy. I lost control when I recorded him giving up my address. That shit didn't really hurt me. It was when he
Listen,
said, "Oh,
like-
your kid's in danger," and I got pictures of your daughter. That's when I really lost it. I was like, "Oh, you got pictures of
Yeah,
my
like,
daughter." All right.
when you sent me the video, I honestly didn't know what to do. It was either one of two choices. I either just watch it and leave it alone, or actually say something about it. And I couldn't just not fucking leave it alone because the situation got way too out of hand because this motherfucker wanted to act all high and mighty and be like, "Yeah, I know where you live." Like, okay,
I just
nigga,
don't know
pull
why
up
he
the fuck-
couldn't. Yeah, I just don't know why he couldn't finish the debate. It was going good. I just wanted to show that. I just wanted to show that I think he figured it out. I think he figured out that when I was hitting him with that whole police shit and that his wife was white, I think he figured out that I was gonna tell him, "Yo, how you out here selling white hate when you married to a white woman? Kids are
Yup.
half breeds,
Yup.
and you over here telling them that their grandparents are fucking racist." I think that's when he saw it, and he was like, "I know where you got your address." Blah blah blah. I was like, "What a fucking punk!"
That's just
Right.
like Don
That's
Lemon.
the same
saying
thing-
The biggest threat to
Oh, go ahead.
America is black men, but then white men, and then he goes home and suck one. Fucking hypocrites.
I got mixed
Hypocrite.
kids. That should be ticking me off because I'm Dominican, and
Like, I don't
Dominicans
know if
they
any of
come.
y'all saw the shit. Okay.
What? My bad. And then
Oh, but what I
we
was
come
gonna
like
say
an
was-
off. Go ahead.
Go ahead, because you're already finishing.
Oh, so like I'm Dominican, right? So like I have a brother who's white and he's got nappy hair. I got a sister who's white and she has nappy hair. I got a sister who's black and she has good hair. I got another sister who's black and she got nappy hair. My mom is white with nappy hair. My grandmother's white and fucking blonde. So it's, and I tell people like, yo, you're making me and my fucking kids and my families like try to pick each other on blood when we looking at each other like like rainbows, and we're like, nigga, it's the same fucking blood. What the fuck? How is this even sound? So I had one of my daughters, right, my oldest daughter, tell my youngest daughter, she's like, oh, you got to be careful because the cops out here looking to kill people like you. I'm like, pardon me, what the fuck does that even mean? And that's how I got a hold of TikTok. And I was like, yo, this shit is really going on in here. And my friend was like, yo, somebody got to hop in there. And that's why I'm so aggressive, because to me, it's really fucking personal. I feel like all that lying to kids,
Yeah,
it fucking bothered me.
And that's what they say. You catch the youth. I mean, it's easy to sponge it up, and that's why all this fucking hate comes from the kids, because they're growing up thinking that we're different people. We're putting each other in different boxes. What does that tell you?
That's
Like, I
fucking
remember
nuts.
when I saw the video of, this was like in the midst of the summer when all the protests and shit were going on.
Like,
I remember I saw a
2016.
video of a guy telling his kid on video that they could get killed for being black, and that just set me off.
Oh,
Like,
I
what the
remember that shit.
Like, what the what makes you
Yeah, I
think
remember
that, your
that
child
shit.
is just gonna
Guys,
live
real quick,
perfectly
I'm
fine
gonna
after
eat
that?
something real quick. I'll be back in about 20 minutes.
Yeah, ping me when you want to come back on.
Like,
So, Kunta, where are you now? Whereabouts?
oh, I'm at work right now.
No, but I mean, like, where you living? You don't have to give me your address.
Northeastern PA.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's
I'll be-
nice. Better than Jersey.
Yeah. In all honesty, fuck this place. I'd rather be back in Jersey.
Yeah. Well, look, Jersey's Jersey. I mean, Jersey's home. I'm flirting with the job offer in Fort Lauderdale, and I have family down there, and it's obviously way nicer. But there's something about here. As much as I hate it, I love it as much as I hate it. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. But going back to what you were talking about the whole the black men talking about white people are racist and shit like that, but they're with white women. I don't know if you saw my whole fucking back and forth with that Comrade Sparkles dude, but
Nah, I'd be fucking banned.
he jumped. He the one video I made, I was responding to someone's comment. I was talking about like racism in relation to black people, and he stitched that video and then went off to call me Sam Bowie and say that I care more about white feelings than I do about black liberation and shit like that. And then like 3 videos in, I did one, he did one, I did one, he did one. And then I something compelled me to just look through his profile. Fucking 6th video I see is a whole picture montage of him and his girl. And what does she happen to be? White.
Oh, that's right. I remember that debate. That's the dude that blocked you.
No, but what? I feel like
I did see that debate. That was good.
I feel like what he was saying to you, Kunta, in the first place was racist to begin with.
You know what? That he was like, I'm from Philadelphia.
Yeah,
I was like, he's
said-
like, I know with them hands. I put in his comment. I'm like, yo, I box. I know how to get around that shell.
He was like, imagine the last thing you see before you get knocked the fuck
Fucking
out. being
painted nails.
fingernails. I'm from Philly. I'm like, nigga, what is that supposed to mean? Like, who are you supposed to be?
It's crazy. When I was growing up, my father used to. That's why I told that guy from where was he from? The Bay. He's like, I'm from the Bay. I'm like, I don't give a fuck where you're from. My father used to tell me, because when I used to box, my father used to be like, why are you scared? I'm like, I don't know. He's from 153rd. And he's like, nigga, you from 136. I'm like, yeah, but that's the worst neighborhood. He's like, nigga, that shit don't work like that.
Right.
After you get your eyes swollen, you'd be like, yo, everybody hits, everybody gets hit. This shit is not that serious.
Mm-hmm.
They think that they mentioning from Philly makes you scared or some shit like that.
For real, like, bro, I live 2 hours away from Philly. I can go there right now. I don't have a problem with it. I just don't feel like fighting you over painted fucking fingernails, because that was really the only reason why the whole thing set off.
Yo, for real. I don't see why he should have painted fingernails either. That's just some. And it's not like they were black. They were like purple, weren't they?
It's just like the idea of men, straight men, painting their fingernails for fashion is so absurd to me. Like, I understand.
I hear
Like,
that shit.
I said to him, about paint. Like the first video I made, I said something about his fingernails, and then he goes on to say, it sounds like you have a little bit of internalized misogyny. Like, oh, are you a female? I didn't know that. I thought I was talking to a grown ass man. I didn't know I was talking to a bitch. Then I wouldn't have said anything in the first place.
Facts.
Because once I said that, once I started pointing out all of the flaws he tried to say I did, and I brought up his white wife, then he wanted to. He created a fake. I don't know if he created, but
that was good.
Someone sent my video. It was either him or somebody that he was with at the time that sent my video to someone that was like something thirst trap, like Venom thirst trap or some shit like that. And this motherfucker really posts the screenshot and says, "Oh yeah, isn't this you trying to hit up my partner?" What the fuck are you? I'm like, first of all, you stitched my first account, saw that the name was not mine, stitched my second account, saw the name was not mine, and then you still go on to say that I contacted your partner?
He's a bozo. It's
Fuck.
the strawman. Yo, they're like professional strawman creators.
Yes.
Yo, I tell them that they're the squad of scarecrows, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I tell them all the time. I'm like, this dude today, RC Dubs, this nigga for the past 48 hours has been fucking strawmanning the shit out of me, bro. Well, you said, and you, I'm like, bro, we gonna do this debate or not, nigga?
For
What
real,
the
he's
fuck?
like, he's just like, I would,
No, and they
debate
could
you
do the
'cause I
same
would
right
destroy
here.
you. I'm like, the only fucking people who say that shit are people who are not ready for a fucking debate.
Yo, I'm like, yo, you asked me for 24 hours. I said, yo, I've been telling you for 24 hours, let's go. Then the next 24 hours pass. I'm like, my nigga, can we do this? No, all right, listen. I'm sorry. This guy really don't want to do this. I'm wasting my time here. He made me spend fucking 12 hours looking for evidence, building a fucking discussion, and he don't want to do shit. Can we find somebody? Then I hit Victoria. She blocked me, and then I said, fuck this. I'm doing it by myself.
I'm waiting for the day she blocks me.
The only person that hasn't blocked me is Lokius. Only person.
It'll come eventually.
He better never say nothing. I got that red beer on check already.
I remember when I said something about that shit.
He said that shit come from Africa. That shit don't come from no Africa.
Nigga,
if
you
it does come
from the fucking Sally's and dyed your shit, motherfucker. You ain't go to no fucking Africa.
if it did come from Africa, he better do his homework on that red beer. You know, because that red beer signifies something. So he better be
that
careful
shit over there.
Yeah, that's crazy. He don't know what that shit mean. I think he's just like following tribal shit he read online, not knowing what the fucking tribes mean or nothing.
Oh, but speaking of people that don't like debate or like to straw man and pull shit apart instead of actually having a discussion, I don't know if you saw my video that I made last night towards iSpeaks video.
If you want to put the video in the private chat, I can post it.
Which video is? What did he do? What video did he make?
The video itself was
this is gonna be good.
Ridiculous. He starts off by saying, "So let's talk about this super straight shit," and then goes on.
I saw you stitch that shit. Yeah.
And then he goes.
I didn't finish.
Explain how not being attracted to a trans person is transphobic. Like what?
I left it for later. Yeah, I left that for later. I want to see it later. It came across like 2 minutes before I hopped on, so I kind of like left it on my TikTok running.
And then when I posted it, and like an hour later, he comments back. And he says, "You clearly didn't get the point of my video." Da, 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 da. And I just said, "What was your point? Like, I'd love for you to
clarify that shit." Yeah,
was because you didn't make one. You just flat out said that if you don't like trans people, you're a transphobe, and that makes no sense.
So I have to tell you guys something. So I'm on Tinder, I'm on Bumble, I'm on like all the sites, and on my I don't take Tinder serious at all, right? So on Tinder, there's a lot of trannies that will list themselves as female looking for male, and you only get so many swipes on Tinder per day, right? If you don't pay for it, so you're wasting my swipe because a lot of them, they're sophisticated now, right? So they fool me. So I waste a fucking space.
He said sophisticated.
So I put in my profile.
They're well put together.
Some of them are pretty fucking, they look hot. And so I put in my profile. If you have a penis, please don't swipe right on me, right? And Tinder didn't take down my profile, but the fucking took down like what I wrote. So then I modified it, and I said, if you were born with male parts, please do not swipe right on me. So that's been up now for a few weeks, and I accidentally swiped right on a tranny like a few days ago. And the tranny messaged me, right? And I don't know what the pronouns were, so I don't know if it was an it, a they, a them, or whatever, or a TV, or whatever. But they were like, "So, is it okay if I was born with male parts but don't have them anymore?" And I said, "Look, I'm not a homosexual. You know, no offense, but I'm just not a homosexual. That's all." And they were like, "Oh, well, now I'm really gonna lose sleep at night." And it's like, dude, you saw what I put in my profile.
Yo, these people are hilarious.
I just don't want to date you. Like, I'll put you in the friend zone. We could be friends. Like, I'll watch the fucking Sopranos with you, but we're not gonna fucking snuggle.
I date a lot, so I come across them a lot.
You know, like, dude.
Like the whole argument.
I'm cool with anybody that's a cool person. If you,
I don't have any friends that are tranny. I don't think none of my friends will hang with a tranny.
Like the
Just saying
argument that if you aren't attracted to someone who's transgender means
Right.
you're transphobic is absolutely like asinine.
Like, what's the fear?
For real? Like, where does that come
You
from?
obviously have no fear if you're telling them, no, I don't like you. I mean, it just fucking makes no sense. There's really no fear of it.
There's absolutely positively men that should have been born as women and vice versa. No doubt in my mind. And if that's your thing, that you got to make that happen physically with an operation or surgery of some sort, then God bless you. If that's what makes you happy and if it fulfills who you really are as a person.
To me, that whole argument they make, it's rape.
But don't call me a phobic because I don't want to date you. That's all.
That whole argument they make is it's rape. Either you like me or you don't. I'm gonna push myself upon you. You don't like me, well, you're scared of me, and that's rape. That's just a mental type of rape.
Right.
That's really what it is.
Like, fuck. What was I gonna say? Fucking.
I like that. I like that.
It is. I date them. I date. I'm single, so
like,
I come across them a lot.
Like
too.
the whole thing with transgender, like that, I don't fucking understand is that like majority, fucking all of the people that usually turns transgender, almost always wind up being attracted to the same sex they were before they got changed. So why not just be fucking gay?
Correct.
Why not just like? It's that simple. Like you are taking a whole extra 20 fucking steps just to be something when you're just gonna want to be with the same fucking type of person you were before you got changed.
I'll tell you guys what the worst is. If I'm like watching porn or whatever, and I accidentally click on like, it'll be like a guy like banging a hot chick, and then all of a sudden the hot chick has a pair of balls. I'm like, what the fuck?
Like, where the fuck that shit came from? Yeah, it just makes no sense. But they want straight men. That's their problem.
Mm-hmm.
They really don't want, a gay man. They want a straight man.
Yep.
I got to tell you, I used to try to be an actor, and this is about 10 years ago. I was doing acting classes in the city up on 54th Street, and there was obviously some gay guys in there, and I was friendly with them.
There's a lot of gay guys around there.
Yeah. And this is back in the time of BlackBerry. So I was cool with the guy, so I gave him my BBM because like you would only give your BBM to people you were cool with,
Yeah.
And this guy would BBM
You're
me
bringing me back to when I had a BlackBerry.
this guy would BBM me at all hours of the night about letting me letting him give me a blowjob. And like he tried making me feel guilty for saying no. If I ever talked to a girl like this, I'd be in prison or have or like maybe I wouldn't be in prison, but I'd at least have a restraining order.
You'd be fucking outed, bro. There's no restraining orders now. You can straight up fucking cancel.
But this guy, and I'll never forget, his name was Chris, and like he was a good-looking guy. He probably could have banged any hot chick he wanted. All right, look, was I flattered in a way? He was attracted to me, sure, but I'm not interested in you if you have a penis.
He wanted his fix.
Yeah,
he wanted his fix.
I'm a straight white Christian dude, and that's what I am.
And that's crazy because it really is the straight men that they want. They don't want to. They don't want to be like, oh, I'm gay. I'm with a gay man. No, they would rather.
No, they want a straight guy.
Mm-hmm. And by the way, am I even really white if I'm 75% Italian?
I don't understand. You see, I was having that discussion with my mother about colors, and my mom is very Christian, and to her, colors equal exactly like how the Bible says it when he said, oh, man was created from dirt. She said, if you look at dirt, every person's skin tone matches one type of dirt. Either it's dark dirt or sandy dirt. She's like, but everybody matches that dirt. And I'd be like, you see, this is why I like talking to you. But I gotta say,
that's profound.
Yeah, well, the thing is that she used to be like, my mom's an architect, but she took
Static.
Poem. She did poetic. She's really poetic. She likes poems and shit. She's a nerd.
Static. I went to architect school. I came out making shit money, so now I'm a sales guy. But I think
this woman has never worked in her life.
Oh, really?
Nah, my father bought her a building, and she comes, sleeps in the building, collects money for like 3 months, and then she never worked.
See, like, I went to an architect school thinking I would come out making a lot of money because, like, you know, architects.
They make money. Yeah, they're supposed to make money.
Dude, I made more money bartending throughout college than I made with my college degree.
My mom's a lazy individual.
But dude,
my mom never worked.
That's the shit.
I'll go hang out with you in the Bronx anytime.
The thing about college degrees that I hate is that you could get a college degree and you can work anywhere in that field, but you'd still be working under someone unless you actually.
I had to create my own field. It's crazy. I had to create my own field. I would not get hired.
I'll be right back, guys.
See,
I would apply and never.
I figured
Luckily,
I had to learn how to use my hands.
I did. That's what really saved my life. So you see, when I was growing up, like when I told you I had double life, my father thought I wasn't gonna amount to nothing because he was like, I don't know, one of these days all this shit might just flip out and he might just not have something to fall in. 18, I'm not gonna be able to control him. So at 15, he put me through Miami Lakes Technical School on Miami Lakes, and he made me get 2 certification. He made me get my automotive certification, and he also made me get a diesel certification. So when I was like 16 years old, still going through high school, I was already a full-blown ATEC technician for boats and cars. When I went to school, I was like, yo, because my father used to have a shop. I was like, yo, I kind of like doing this shit. Let me take it, let me get into like engineering. Mm-hmm. So I took engineering. And when I came out, I filed for DuPont. I filed for a bunch of companies, and they never called, right? So I was like, damn, I'm in the middle of New York City. I only got a certain amount of money. Let me get a fucking job. I started working with this Jewish guy, and the Jewish guy, he's like, man, you talk real pretty. I'm like, yeah, I know. He's like, you know how to run the office? I'm like, yeah, look at my resume. My dad used to have a shop, blah, 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 blah. So he put me in the front. Next shit you know, just talking to his connects, people were like, yo, I need somebody. I have a company where we buy contracts and we fix police cars, or we do emissions for the airport and shit. And then that's how I started like learning this unofficial trade. And then I started myself, like buying the contracts myself and doing the shit myself. Now I literally go visit this man like once or twice a week. He has 2 sons. And me and his 2 sons are literally at each other's throat because I'm his fucking son. I walk in, I go into his office. I have keys. His kids don't have keys. I go in through his safe. His kids can't go through his safe, and they'd be like, "Oh, but you don't even work here." I'd be like, "Bitch, this is mine." It's just the way it is. But that's the thing I tell people. I've been lucky like that. If you know the Bronx, Pope Park used to be like a crack zone. My school used to be right next to it, and when I used to cross through it, all the old people used to grab me. They'd be like, "Yo, young man, let me tell you something," and they used to feed me all this like anti-government conspiracy, Black Power type shit, and that's really how I just grew up. I was like, damn. Then You know, now you see it. You see, like I tell people all the time, I'd be like, I don't see that black power on the left anymore. I only see it on the right. Why is it only the black people on the right that are screaming, I ain't nobody's bitch. I'm better than you. I'm the same. This is you. You only see that on the right. On the other side, they're like, oh, I'm black and I'm a piece of shit. And I'm like, bitch, no, you not, nigga. Pick up your fucking chin.
Right.
It's fucking nuts.
That's the shit that I hate because
You're getting fired up over here.
Yo, it's fucking crazy. Yo, I don't know if I see the world as backwards, but bro, I even my friends,
Trust me.
a lot of my friends, they did not like Trump, and they're like, I'm not voting for Biden. I'm like, yo, do you? They're like, I'm not voting for Trump either. Fuck him, but I'm not voting for Biden. I'm like, yo, go do you.
You know,
They just-
what I've been saying?
But these motherfuckers voted just for hate, bro.
If you care about this country and you hate Trump, either sit the election out or vote third party.
like they voted for the same exact reason they voted for Obama was because of promises.
Yeah.
I don't think, I
All
don't
the
think
motherfucker had to say
promises.
was,
I
"Hey,
think-
bro, I'll give you a $2,000 stimulus check." They was like,
I'm not going to say that didn't help, but I think a lot of the votes came from feelings. And honestly, that's what it seems like this world runs on is feelings.
"Oh yeah,
And of
because
course,
the hate-
Trump
because the
hurt
hate-
feelings, so everybody was like, no. But meanwhile, if you look at the stats and the numbers, I mean, everything he pushed for and said he was going to do, that motherfucker pulled off.
Mhm.
Can I be honest? Is that Trump has this 1980s New York bravado, you know, and people ain't used to that.
Right.
Fuck you, fuck him. They're not
Right.
used to that talk. They're
Like,
not
the
used to
whole-
that energy.
The
They're
whole
really
thing
not.
I
And he's
love,
even
like,
got the Queen's accent to go with it.
They're not
what
used to that
grew
energy.
What grew on me about Donald Trump was that,
He got balls, bro.
2 years into his presidency, I realized he was solely doing it from a businessman point of view, and I was like, when I started to realize that, I'm like, yo, this nigga smart as fuck.
This nigga don't give a fuck about the emotions. It's
For
true.
real, son.
He doesn't give a fuck about the emotions.
Like,
He
was
don't.
like, when I first heard the whole "what do you have to lose" speech, obviously I was mad as fuck, and then I watched it, the whole thing, and I'm like,
This nigga Ray.
what do we have to fucking lose? Because it's
Yeah, he's
the only
like
thing we have
Tom,
to
he's
lose
like
is our
Tom
lives.
McDonald. You can't argue with him because he's
Right.
spitting truth.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Um,
And that's why everybody hates him because you can't come at him with anything because all he's spitting is facts.
Mm-hmm.
I was working for I had a contract for this company named Barnwell House of Tires. They own the East Coast. They distribute tires, right, to like 16 wheelers for transportations and shit like that. So they have contracts with Goodyear, Michelin's, and a bunch of Chinese and Korean tires and shit like that. When he did that whole thing with China, remember that he had closed down and he had brought up the tariffs and all that other shit. Everybody was like, yo, why are you so happy about it? And I used to tell them, and I had to break it down. I used to tell them, this is a Michelin tire. It's $1,000. You can run it for 10 years on that semi truck, no problem. This is a Chinese tire. This is worth $250. You will replace this every 2 weeks. You will run through this tire in a week. You will pay 50 times for this tire. And you will sit here tell me each and every time, I only have 250. I only have 250. If we sit down, you've already spent $2,000-$3,000 replacing that same tire. Now that same Chinese tire is $900. That Michelin is still $1,000. What you gonna purchase? And they all used to be like, give me that Michelin. I used to be like, now you know. And they're like, oh, but it's French. I'll be like, yeah, it's French, but or take the Goodyear for $700, and that's American. Be happy. But I wasn't selling Chinese products at all.
Mm-hmm.
At all. And people didn't get it. They're like, oh, he's hurting China. I'm like, I don't know. That's American labor, American employee, American company. That money's here. That money's circling here. I don't expect you to understand it. And then I tell them, when you order 2,000-3,000 fucking tires from China for $3 and you order fucking 10,000 tires for $100 a piece, it's not the same tire.
Mm-hmm.
I keep telling them it's not the same tire. If you live in New York, you'll see that the DOT stops trucks. Why? Because them Chinese tires, they form bubbles and the steel belt breaks and they wobble and shit. All that is a safety issue, and they don't understand that shit.
Kunta, you said something before that struck a chord with me. when Trump did the "What the hell do you have to lose" kind of speech.
Yo, yeah, that shit was.
Is that what swayed you, or was there more to it than that?
Well, I was already like a conspiracy theory kid since I was like 17. So I was already like.
By the way, me too.
I was already reading up on all types of fucked up shit that was going on in the world. So I was already jaded with the whole political system as it was. I unfortunately still felt influenced to the whole hate for Donald Trump. And then I deleted Facebook because that was the main source of all of the bullshit that I was
giving
getting.
you a golf clap for that.
Yes.
And then I literally had nothing else to fucking do, so I was just on the internet all the time, just looking up shit, watching documentaries, all this other types of shit. Like, and that's when I started actually listening to the speeches that this man was giving, and I was like, wow.
Okay, so you're telling me...
I'm like, where the fuck have I been for the last 4 years?
You're telling me that you did your own research and you came to your own conclusion.
Yes.
Thank
Right.
you. That,
He wasn't...
Dude,
That's
that
the only way
that made my heart melt. That's great.
The only
That's what
way
I
to
love to
form
hear.
a solid opinion that can't be poked holes in. Because as long as you know what the fuck you're talking about, and you know what the fuck you're talking about, people can't be like, oh, well, this and this and that. And it's like, no, because this and this and that.
That is honestly one of my favorite things to do, is the back and forth with people until they have nothing else to say. That's the ultimate satisfaction.
Or the
That's
best,
like a comment
or the
I got,
absolute
actually.
worst, absolute best is when you say something to them and they have no fucking argument to say anything back, so they just don't fucking say anything at all.
Right.
I hated Trump I hated Trump all the way to like, I want to say 2018.
Yeah,
Really?
me too.
Really?
Me
Now
too.
tell me, Static, you got to tell me what swung you.
I didn't even vote. I didn't even vote in 2016. I wasn't gonna vote for Hillary because I knew her history, and I was already already chewed up on that Trump shit.
The crazy thing about like the 2016 election is that I literally heard about, like, I was reading up on the Benghazi shit right before that election.
And the thing that people don't understand is the media.
All right, I'm about to go into work. It was good talking to you,
bro.
fellas.
Yeah, it was a pleasure.
man,
Be
it was
easy.
nice to
Have a
meet
good
you,
night.
man.
Money.
Thank you for coming on the podcast, sir.
No problem.
Yeah, the media is so strong, and what's crazy is that a lot of people fell for it, and until somebody pointed it out how fucking corrupt it was, everybody just thought it was the news. And
Yeah,
then as soon as you point it out, and then you start dissecting shit, then you start going back and you start seeing videos, and you're like, wait a second, this don't seem right, and then it just all makes sense.
to me, it was working out. You see, I'm in the center, right? I like to say I'm not an independent. I'm more of a centrist. I lean a little bit more towards like conservative values,
Your
families,
center-right.
and shit like that. Yeah. I like
Which, by the way, the majority of this whole country is center right.
basically, yeah. So you see, I was
not hard right. I'm doing a hard right for the camera. It's not hard right. The majority of this country is like right here, but like a little bit to the right.
a little bit to the right. Like we want what we already have. We don't mind tweaking it for perfection. Right. We don't want to lose the what we have just for fucking crazy.
Like a nice
we really don't.
Rare steak.
Right. Now you see, I've always been heavy into like anti-government, not anti-government, but like never trusted them, always keep an eye on them.
Wait, smaller government.
Well, yeah, the natural stuff.
Yeah.
But I always kept a hard eye on them. Like that whole thing with the Bundy Ranch, for example, I fucking love that shit, right? Yeah. Like that's the shit I've always loved, right? But I never felt like I wasn't part of that group because of my skin tone, but I always felt like that's how government always was, oppressive, right? It is. I saw then I continued with the same thought, right? When they were going through the Indian territory, bringing the pipeline. And I used to say, well, there's a positive to it, there's a negative to it. Then the negative to me was not really financially or anything like that. It was more like a private corporation security guards attacking civilians. So that's literally like how I saw it. I was like, damn, like these motherfuckers are out of pocket. So then he comes in, right? After I'm already like all emotional about all this other stuff that the government has been doing to people from like before he came in. But then they start talking bad about him, right? And I'm always been like, well, fuck the news. I never listened to the news. I've always been more of an Alex Jones.
Wait, oh, you mean AJ?
Okay. And a little bit of what's this other guy's name?
Mike Savage?
I would have to go on my YouTube because I still kind of follow them and they kind of follow me. But that guy that went to Chicago to Washington D.C. and he got arrested when he pumped the shotgun in front of the White House. What's his name? Adam Kokesh. Wow. So I used to follow Adam Kokesh. I used to follow the Young Turks. I used to follow a lot of people, just like keeping my eye open and hearing what everybody's opinions was.
Young Turks' mental breakdown the night.
Correct. Correct. So I was following, I was like listening to all these streams. I was already like releasing the news, right? Because I was already like basically on my own world where the news was evil and everybody's opinion was like the only way I could try to grasp on what's really happening, right? So then all of a sudden I see the news talking bad about him and I'm like, damn, is the news on our side now? Like, this is kind of weird, you know?
Right.
So
we've always known him to be like the American dream, and now all of a sudden everybody's shitting on his face.
But none of that hit me, right? So I'm like, damn, are they on our side?
But
what's going on?
Can you imagine if he ran as a Democrat? They'd be up his ass, and they would fucking love him.
Well, that's kind of the thing, though,
and
right?
What's funny is he could have had the same policies as a Democrat. And they still probably would have loved him.
So I'm on Facebook constantly debating. And I was just sitting there debating, showing articles. And one of my friends, his name is Richie, he had finished coming out of prison. And he had met this psychiatrist in prison, a Venezuelan lady. And they had gotten married inside and all this other stuff. He came out during that whole Trump First Step Act, and I was unaware of that. So he's telling me, "Oh, I met this Venezuelan lady, you know, blah 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 blah." Yeah, he kind of like he was one of the first. His appeal wasn't that long because his appeal was possession of marijuana, which was personal use. He was just doing 27 years for personal use, but that was the system. Yeah, that was like his third strike with possession of marijuana, which is crazy. So he came out. His appeal was quick. His appeal took like 3 months. He comes out married, and he's talking to me. Oh, Trump's that dude. Blah blah blah. I'm like showing him all these fucking articles and all this shit, and how I'm online just whooping up on fucking conservatives and Republicans, and he's like, brother, that shit is all fucking wrong. I'm like, nah, nigga, blah, 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 blah. So his wife, she's Venezuelan, and she's really heavy into politics. The channel that I do my TikTok from, it used to be hers. She was the one who started it, and she showed me how to use the application and all that shit. So like now I do it, but it was really started by her. So she comes on to Facebook while I'm having a debate, right? The whole debate was about socialism. Okay, we're talking this whole thing of socialism, and then we get into Venezuela and all this shit, and then she hops into the debate. And like 2 days into the debate, she's like fucking just destroying this guy. And I'm like fucking looking at her destroy each and every fucking article he was bringing. Like literally like going in behind, finding the source and everything. And I'm like, yo, like this is how you fucking debate. This is how you fucking do it. And everything he was throwing at her, yo, she was chewing the fuck up, and she never went offensive. She stayed defensive that whole time. And then all of a sudden, man, she turned the fucking offensive stream, and it was over for me, bro. She started showing how the decentralization of Venezuela happened, who caused it, how it fucking ricocheted, how it fucking trickled down, how it led to now, who's responsible. And I was like, yo, this is fucking nuts. Like, where the fuck has all this information been at? And she literally put every fucking president, Clinton, Bush, Obama, Biden, everybody and their fucking mother decentralizing governments and just It was fucking nuts. And I was just like, yo, it's fucking nuts. How did you know all this shit? She's like, they haven't changed. She's like, that same people you were fucking worrying about before that were your fucking, she's like, they're still there, except that this time around, this is the game they're playing. And that from that moment on, it was over for me, bro. I went back to mistrusting them. She started showing me shit she wasn't supposed to show me. And
All right.
fucking sucks for them.
All right, hold on. I have something for you guys. It's a treat. Hold on. I hope you're ready.
As far as my relationships with all people, I think I have great relationships with all people. I am the least racist person in this room.
Well, what do you say to Americans who are concerned by that rhetoric?
I don't know.
and by
I mean, I
the
don't know
videos?
what to say. I got criminal justice reform done and prison reform and opportunity zones. I took care of black colleges and universities. I don't know what to say. They can say anything. I mean, they can say anything. It makes me sad because I am the least racist person. I can't even see the audience because it's so dark, but I don't care who's in the audience.
That was racist.
Racist.
You're one of the most racist presidents we've had in modern history. He pours fuel on every single racist fire. Every single one. He started off his campaign coming down the escalator saying he's going to get rid of those Mexican rapists. He's
Oh my god.
We don't need to hear it.
That fucking mumbling, stumbling clown. I can't.
I remember that shit.
You mumbling, stuttering prick, you.
I had bought that shit too, hook, line, and sinker too. I was believing that shit too.
Oh my god, I can't.
But yeah, I mean, the only racist thing about
I
that
was.
video, the only racist thing about that was what my commentary, and it was just out of comedy. It really, I don't mean that in my heart.
Till that lady was just showing all those videos. It was crazy. The day that I was already like switching, but the day that really would put the nail in the coffin for me, because I already have flipped and I was already like you know what I mean? Like, nah, these motherfuckers are lying about him. Was the day that they said he said to drink the bleach.
Bleach.
That was the end for me. That was just really the end,
But
because everything I was like, you're a liar. Give me a
the thing
sec.
is, the people
Let me
that
answer this phone call real quick. Give me a sec.
Yeah. We're gonna remove you. The thing is, the people that hate him, they hate him so much that they're really gonna believe that this guy said.
They're willing to believe anything.
Are you back or no?
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure.
No problem.
See, and I always say this, and it really boils down to it. Actions speak fucking louder than words. And if you look at somebody's actions as a person, forget about, just look at them as a person. Trump got fucking trophies with fucking Muhammad Ali and Rosa Parks.
For real. But that's the
gave
thing.
out fucking loans to people when the banks wouldn't. And
Correct.
most of them were fucking black. I mean, how are you going to tell me this man is a fucking
People
racist?
didn't know that. People didn't know that. Like me, for example, I didn't know that. I didn't know that till like after 2 years in. I really didn't know that.
And
that's really the problem.
That you didn't find out from him.
You know what?
You know what I mean?
No.
That makes it even
I found out from somebody else,
right. But that's what I'm saying.
which
The
shows
fact
that he's very honorable. He's not like,
Exactly.
well, I
He's not-
helped
he's not
people.
boasting about it. He's not saying, "Look what I did." You know what I mean?
Correct.
And that
He-
to me is a fucking human being. That's a decent fucking human being.
I wish I had
Somebody
seen that
goes to
sooner.
Somebody that goes to a KKK member's fucking funeral and says the guy
Eulogy.
was a great guy, a mentor. The fuck does
That's-
that tell you? Look at
that's
his
the
son.
shit that-
He's a fucking crackhead.
That's the shit that kills me the most. Like I tell people all the time, I'm willing to forgive and forget, but I'm not willing to vote for him. Like, okay, I forgive you. I still don't trust you. Like,
Right.
okay,
Because he hasn't
you
proven
raped.
himself. Listen,
You
it's one thing
raped.
it's one thing if you say you changed and people see you've changed, but just to say you have, that
Even
don't mean
still.
fucking shit.
Even still, because you could rape, you could do 15 years in prison, come out, be clean for 15 years, and they still don't trust you around kids and women.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's KKK, bro. That's as bad as it gets. That's as white supremacist as it gets.
And
You can't
by
sit
the
here and
way-
tell me you co-sign that behavior because he said he's sorry, but then you want to be
Yeah.
mad at people that never had no ties to the KKK or anything at all with the KKK. That shit makes no sense. It's
Right.
an argumentative flawed discussion with them all the time.
And by the way, I'm of Italian heritage mostly, so the KKK and I'm Catholic, so the
They
KKK
don't like you.
would hate me as much as anybody.
They don't like. Actually, in here, we're all their enemies. In here,
But how many members of the KKK really are there still in this country?
like 3, bro.
And are
Yeah,
they
not
Republicans
many.
or are they just a bunch of jerk
Not
off
many
in a
at all.
circle jerk?
Like 3. Look, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I say this all the time. I tell people all the time the same shit. You could be in the crowd and the KKK person all by him. You could be by yourself, right? And you're in society. Let's say you're in a white neighborhood and you're a black guy and you get surrounded by the KKK. Ain't none of those white people gonna let any of those KKK guys do anything. The only people who are gonna end up losing in that situation is the KKK. White people don't like the KKK.
They make it out like the KKK is all over the place.
This is the shit that I don't understand. I tell people all the time, where the fuck are they?
Yeah. I've never seen
I don't
somebody come
even-
up to me and call me a
Sorry,
dirty
Joe.
Jew. You know
I'm
what I
in
mean?
fucking-
I call
I'm in-
myself a fat Jew, but you know,
Yo, I'm in Blue Mountain, Pennsylvania, mountain biking. I'll go to Mojave Desert. I drive all these places to go mountain biking, and I never come across. Oh shit! Actually, I'm in white people's neighborhoods, and they treat me better than they treat white people. The other day, I was going through a bridge with my mountain bike on the top, and the bridge was really low, and I'm like, "Fuck." I got to take my mountain bike, walk it, and drive the car over, put it back on top. And this old lady out of nowhere, she's like, "You want to get across? Follow me." And she took me like on a 5-mile ride. I was better off fucking dismounting the fucking bike, to be honest. But this old white lady took me all around the fucking world to take me to the other side of a bridge. She never fucking knew me. I could have done anything I wanted to that old lady, and she didn't even think of me like that.
right.
You know what I mean?
Because people just don't walk up to each other and start all this fucking nonsense. It's just all, like you said, it's all behind a fucking screen because they have that protection because they know they're not going to see the person face to face. So they're
Correct.
not worried about nothing. They can say what the fuck they want.
Whatever the fuck they want. I told them all the time, nothing that they say is legit anymore. Everything
Mm-mm.
they say, it's a fish.
So
It's literally over
everything-
for them.
I'm going to bring up not a new topic, but we're going to stay on the same page, just or same church, different pew. Did you guys ever have a one-night stand with a girl, but you wanted it to really be more than a one-night stand, and then you realized you were glad it was just a one-night stand? Because I have a small story about that.
Can I be honest? I've been single for like 11 years.
So yeah,
I usually try to tell people not to get into a relationship. If you don't have kids, get married, have kids. But if you have kids and you're no longer with a woman, try to stay single.
okay.
If you
so
have a woman that you're already with, make it work out. But if you
So-
don't, try to stay
No,
single as long as you
on the
can.
I'm on the same page with you. I like being single. I enjoy it. It's fucking fun. I've been single. I'm 36. I've been single since I've been 23, and
No kids?
no kids.
Yeah, you kind of have to soak the royal oats in that form. You don't
So-
you want that headache. As bad as it is, you want that headache.
So let me just tell you the story real quick.
I'll be honest. Nothing's like kids and
Well,
nothing's like
my wife came over and never left. So, you know, I got one kid, I'm still married. So, you know, I'm all right.
You want
So-
that.
So about
Yeah.
a month ago, I meet this chick on Bumble, and she hits me up. I'm like,
Okay. Rule number 1 for me, I don't date girls off websites.
"Well, you live in the Bronx. You live like I live in the burbs. It's different here.
Okay.
You got to give me that. You got to give me that."
I've tried it and you find yourself with issues.
No, I'm not going to argue that. I'm just saying, living in the burbs, it's a little bit harder. Like you could just go to the bodega and meet. Was that racist that I said bodega?
No, that's what
No.
they're called.
I
That's what
miss,
they're
I
called.
miss bodegas. You kidding me? I can't.
That's
fucking
what they're
find a
called.
bodega
I
out
don't know
here.
why
Shit.
people think that's racist. My friends call me mulatto.
That was
My
the
friends
fuck-
call me mulatto or mestizo. My nickname is Blue, but everybody calls me mulatto or mestizo. The other day, one of my friends posted and they're like, "Oh, why do you talk about like this in black and white?" And he's like, "He's mulatto." And the guy goes, "Oh, that's fucking racist." And my friend is like, "How is that racist if he has European, Indian, and a bit of how is that racist?" And the nigga never responded.
That makes no sense whatsoever. So I meet this chick on Bumble, and we agree to hang out. And it was like a Wednesday, and she lived in Westchester, right? And I'm in I'm outside of Newark, New Jersey, not right outside of Newark. Like I'm not in the hood. I'm in the burbs, right? Newark is
Now,
10 minutes.
where in Westchester she lives? Like Yonkers?
No, Tarrytown, like right on the right over the bridge. Like you could see the bridge from her place. Okay.
All right. Poughkeepsie, Tarrytown, Mount Vernon. You might want to stay away from them women.
All right.
Just
Well,
to let you know. Oh, and
nice to know that. But anyway, I go there.
and Tuckahoe.
Yeah,
That's the name of this shit of the place, Tuckahoe, too. Everybody makes fun of it. They'd be like, yo, Tuckahoe, that's where you tuck them hoes.
So I went through a month ago. I literally tucked the hoe or whatever you want to call it. And it was a nice experience. I was there for like a few hours. I didn't even think she was going to boot me out at 11 o'clock. We banged twice. It was really great. I got her off like 11 times. Okay. She got me off like maybe twice. I don't know if I'm going to get kicked off on YouTube for saying that, but she was my kind, you know, blonde, big boobs, nice butt, like, you know, whatever, you know, on TikTok, shorty face, bop, bop, dot, with it, you know, the dances they do. And so I remember I'm opening the wine when I first got there before the first bang. And she's like, so I saw you put conservative on your Bumble. And I was like, well, all that means is I just want to conserve what the founding fathers did for the country. I don't want to see it go to like a communist thing. And I left it at that. And she goes, well, I hate Trump. She goes, no Trump, no Trump. And right then and there, I knew I was never going to see her again. Because I'll tell you what, because if she said like, I didn't.
Yo, can I be honest?
I didn't vote for, but like the way she said it,
I don't get no hate for it.
Like the way she said it, I was just like, wow. So like you're that close.
Yeah, you get hate online for it though.
Yeah, like
Just
I'm not saying you have to like Trump, but it's like just the fact that you can't get along with a person that likes Trump, I think makes you
that's a bad human. Yeah,
Hey,
that's a
Juice, let me ask you a question. This was before you broke the wine open?
Could return to shit.
My man. So you hit it anyway. All right.
Well, I went all the way there. It was like a 15-minute.
She's like, "Fuck it, let's go."
Yo.
I had to go over the Anthony Cuomo Bridge.
The best thing you could have done is yell out Trump 2020 as you're coming, bro.
This is a month ago. He already lost.
Me, I could pick them out of a crowd out here. You could tell the conservatives apart.
Oh, absolutely. It's easy.
Like I would totally wife up a chick that didn't like Trump if they were open-minded enough to get along with a person that likes Trump. Like but they're not. Like they're so like in a vacuum.
No, I told you they live in a bubble. They live in a bubble. And it's gonna take a special kind of fucking pin to pop that bubble, and we don't have it.
And unlike them, I'm not gonna force my views on you. Just let me have my views. I respect your views, and we get along. And I'll take care of the cat, and you cook dinner, and I'll put food on the table. Whatever.
Me and my friends, we still go out like the pandemic doesn't exist. There's this restaurant on Tremont. They just opened up. They have real good burgers. Go up. We order our burgers because they still have the division and shit. Pretty girl at the register, short. I mean, like probably like 5 feet, but she's like sexy. So I could tell she's like feeling me when I'm making my order. So I just slide her my phone number. Like when I sign my bill, I give her my number. While we're in the table, we're talking politics, me and this other friend of mine, while everybody else is listening. And she's like, "Oh, you guys are Trump supporters?" I go, "Well, I am, and he is. The rest of them, they didn't vote this year, or they claim they didn't vote this year." So she's like, "Oh, well, I don't like him, blah, 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 blah." I'm like, "All right, no problem." So I'm like, "Damn, this bitch ain't gonna call me." That same fucking night, this bitch just called me to talk about Trump.
Nice.
And I'm like, "I'm all right. We're talking about Trump." And next shit she's like, "Oh, you live alone?" I'm like, "Yeah, I live alone. I live here. She's like, "Oh, no problem. All right, I gotta go to sleep. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll talk to you tomorrow." I'm like, "All right, no problem." Next shit you hear, my doorbell's ringing. Beep boom. I'm like, "Who the fuck is ringing my doorbell at fucking 11 o'clock?" I go downstairs. I have a buzzard, but I want to see who the fuck is downstairs. So I go downstairs. and I see her, and I'm like, "What are you doing here?" She's like, "Oh, you know, blah 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 blah." So I ended up smashing her that night. But I really don't get no hate for that shit at all. I had hate from a female friend of mine's when she saw that I had switched my debate style from against Trump versus Trump. She was like, "Oh, what happened?" And then me and her were talking, and then she's like, "Oh, what about this?" And I'm like giving her all the evidence the lady had given me, and then she's like, "Oh, we can't be friends no more," and she blocked me. So at a birthday party of one of my friend's kids, I show up and she's there, and everybody's like, "Yo, you're ignoring her. Why are you ignoring her?" And then I told them, and then she's like, "Oh, blue, blah 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 blah," and I was like, "Listen, you hate white people. I can't talk to you." She's like, "Oh, but you know," I'm like, "Yo, don't give me none of these excuses. You're fucking Puerto Rican and your fucking son is white and blonde with blue eyes, and you're over here telling me you hate white people. Your best friend is a fucking Irish girl, and you're telling me you fucking hate white people. How the fuck does this shit even fucking work?" You know what I mean? And then her Irish friend looked at her and she's like, "You don't like white people?" And she's like, "No, you know that Trump shit." And she's like, "Well, I vote for Trump and my husband is black and he's voting for Trump." And I was like, "You see, I keep telling everybody, I don't see no fucking pro-Bidens in the city." Yeah, and that's just, I've never gotten hit for being a Trump supporter unless it's online. When it comes to my face, nobody really says anything.
I've been on dates where it's gotten awkward, and it's like, dude, and this is what I preach. And I said last night I did a bait. I did a bait last night. I did a debate last night with I moderated it with 3 other people, and my whole point was, as the moderator, to be as neutral as possible. And I had one last closing statement after the debate. I said, I wish we lived in a world where we could have political discourse and we could all just agree to disagree. Because
I never liked agreeing to disagree.
But I'll tell you what, though, I'm going to push back a little bit on that, because if you don't agree to disagree, that's where all this shit comes from, where people hate each other, where people get canceled, where people cancel out their cousins and their uncles and their aunts.
That's why I say certain people shouldn't be debating the same way certain people shouldn't be managing business.
But it's not. I'm not even talking about debating.
No, like when it comes to a political argument.
But static. The average person that votes, it's not a debater. They just vote for like the person they want to vote for. You know what I mean?
Oh, well, that's true.
And they'll get casted out
for taking that vote. You're correct.
Right. And I'm defending those people, whether they're on the left or on the right. And my point is,
that's a good point.
We need to be able to agree to disagree again. And
that needs to become okay again.
Yeah, that does need to become okay. It does.
And
I mean, we never had a problem with them voting in Biden. It's them who has a problem with us taking our vote to however we want.
And I see it all the time when I'm on the internet sites, these, like, you know, on Tinder or Bumble, you know, when you swipe this direction, it means I like you. When you swipe that direction, it means I don't like you. And it says, if you voted for Trump, don't match me. And it's like, but you don't even know me as a person.
Right.
You don't know me, like,
and you're obviously a better human being because you're already not targeting somebody for political views.
You're not putting them in different boxes.
You're going to judge me on what I did for 1 second of my life for one time out of 36 years. Like, to me, that makes you the piece of shit, not you.
Listen. If the world was actually like it was online, there would be fights and shootings and stabbings
every fucking day. Every day,
and like to the max too. Like it would be insane.
It would.
Every time somebody goes outside, they would have an argument, and you know, it'd be a shit show.
It's the truth.
And I grew up in a Democrat house, but I grew up in a JFK Democrat house.
Well, that was a different type of
And I grew up in a Bill
view.
Clinton Democrat house. I wasn't 18 until George W. was president. Static. I think we're around the same age. I'm 36.
My first vote was Clinton's first term. In 1996 was my first vote. Yeah.
Wow, really? You look like you're fucking 35.
Yeah, I'm 40.
Wow.
Listen, fellas, I'm gonna hop out of here. It's been an absolute pleasure, Static.
Thank you.
Pleasure. Through. Yeah. Next time, hit me up. Let's do this stuff again, guys.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. It's been a fun night.
All right.
Really
Be
fun
easy.
show.
Thank you
Peace
for the
out.
I
invite.
appreciate you coming through, bro.
And
Thank you for the invite.
for
We can
watching.
continue this talk again. We got a lot to talk about.
I
Yeah,
love it.
well, trust me, there's more content coming. I mean, every day is another fucking joke. So
Every day there's another shit going on with them. It's true.
exactly, it's always
Dude.
something else.
If you want to go again on Wednesday, that's the next day I'm available.
All right, brother.
All right, sounds good.
All right, bro.
I'll see y'all later.
All right. Peace, everybody. And audience, thank you for joining us. Peace.
Yes, sir.
Peace, guys.